Project Restoration, Jeremiah 23 and Hood. We're going to talk about when it's too late. When you cannot, no longer, cross over onto the other side. And there's no more opportunities to reach the lost. And if we're on that side, now a gulf is fixed. With these COV numbers, how can we explain? If people were really going to go to hell, listen to what I'm saying, right? Then the urgency has to be, once this pandemic lifts, for the most part, the believers have to believe that, okay, we must gather. As people are shook up, right? Lives been shaken. So the love of God would be the main weapon, right? But then there'll come a time like the days of Noah where it'll be a flood. And you will not be able to cross to the other side. There's no way I'm going to stick my feet in that deep water to go over there. But if my brother are over here, right? And just say that's poverty. Let's just say. And let's say that's Joshua 1, promised land. Well, am I going to come from over there to come back here? There's a gulf right there. That's like Lazarus when Jesus told the story. He said, listen, give me some water because this fire is burning and I need some water. He said, Jesus told the story. Yeshua said, well, neither can you cross from over there, right? Over that side to this side. And neither will you be able to go and tell your brother and warn them about that place. And why was that? He said, because the gulf. He couldn't get to the other side. Now, all these deaths in America, what do you think God is really saying to the church? And if this clip go up, just remember this. It's got to be gathering the harvest while there's time. Or like the same path I walked down with my grandkids over the stones, that's beneath that water, Sunday, and this is Monday, overnight, like a flood, like a thief in the night. And what we're talking, now we got body bags. We said there'll be more body bags. There is more body bags. Do you know why? Because there's not alignment. And I'm not putting it all on the church and the salty part of that, but I'm saying we need more alignment. We need to give more, do more, be more sensitive, discerning, understanding what the will of the Lord is concerning members and all light workers and anybody else that's awoke out there to universal principles. Look, I'm going to operate in the excellence of this thing. I'm going to master loving kindness. I'm going to get my degree in mercy, tender mercies. I'm going to get my degree, says another, in patience. I'm going to give my degree in the force of faith. And we all come together with the fruits before the harvest is past. The summer is ended. And these on this side, as Jeremiah said, they're not saved. Matter of fact, if we go back here and check on them, the last time I checked, going through my hood, they were lost. And if they lost, wow. Where do the lost go, y'all? Seriously. Where do they go? Do they go to hell? I don't know. Do you know? Do you believe that Jesus said there was a gulf? So we have to be very serious about our loved ones, huh? Because they're lost. And if they are lost, what's wrong with giving them a little money? Huh? To show that God cares. So hopefully money will break up the fallow ground, right? And they'll be able to come over from a lost position of an awakening position. And now, if we don't work while it is day, while we have light through this great purge of COVID-19, what Jesus said, dark time come, no man can work. And that is the urgencies of Noah's day. Everyone was doing what is normal. And then came the what? Flood. But in this case, consummation of fire. In other words, the possibilities of whatever you go after with the affections will be lit. If you set the affection above, you're going to be in alignment. If you set the affections beneath, you're going to be stuck. And on this side, let's just say, this side is now become the motions of the flesh, the pride of life and the lust of the eyes. So now, I want that. So my affections go back and backsliding. Help me, church. Okay? I am going after the wrong path, down the wrong road with America. Worse, with American Christianity. You know, what would Jesus have done and what would Jesus do since the foundation of the country? So we could proudly say that I'm lost and I'm not found. And the story says, go find the coin. The lady that really cared swept the house to find the coin. The coin had value. The people must have more value than mass, than big homes, Lear jets, Bentleys, and excessive stuff. Yes, we use stuff to reach people. We're not idiots. But unless we show a collective call of equality and what the kingdom in heaven would look like, there will be no usury in heaven. There will be no book sales in heaven and no CD tape sold. But the word will flow freely. I don't think I'll be homeless and you live in a mansion. So we can get busy now while we have light, to walk while it is day, lest nighttime cometh, when no man can work. Our works and our energies are being tested, and our affections and our senses are either discerning and being sharpened by universal principles out of the word, or wherever you find them in operation, like kindness, like gentleness, like meekness, like virtue, like long-suffering, perseverance, faith, steadfastness, all of those things, praise, gratitude, appreciation. See, those things. So now, remember, if we don't be our brother's keeper, there'll come a time when there will be no way to cross over. Some will say post-trib and pre-trib and rapture of the church. But you explain to me why the people were allowed to be martyred, why John was allowed to be boiled and all. Some say that already happened with the persecution of the early church, with the lions eating them, and they loved not their lives to death. Well, then I'll say, well, they must have been the examples. And what did they mean by allowing the Spirit of God to separate me from the pride of life and the lust of my eyes and the lust of my flesh, when those things take me away from the collective cause of understanding the times by the urgencies that scream in our day, that today 1,000 people, 12,000 people, 1,200 already dead from a plague. And this is not nothing new, but Da Vinci was right about some things, and maybe Nostradamus too. But we know Jesus was accurate. So now you have the three. Yet you have the apostles willing to die, just like the disciples, by the way, that spread the word. So either our affections are lost because we don't care about what's going on with our brethren over here, lost in the American dream, lost in the American excess, lost in the privileges that we chase with great usury an advantage. Yeah. Because if they don't pay the rent out one of the houses that I own, my property management team person gonna throw them out, right? And it was Christmas, and I got laid off. The plague hit. And, hey, that's going on right now, bro. So don't tell me about capitalism in the hands of sinners. Go ask China. They got more money than any tither. Okay, I thought so. So there's a principle called multiplication. So let's use the principle of multiplication and prepare for the worst. Again, God is no respecter of persons. If the natural branches got their tails whipped, how do you know if the natural branches, the unnatural branches, the grafted in, the Gentiles? Don't say you may not go through tribulation. Be prepared for tribulation. Use wisdom. We are in the days of Joseph. There's an Egypt, there's a Pharaoh, and there's Joseph, the church. We got to make up our minds, man. In this way, we are at a crossroads. We go the way of the sinner and choose the oppressor ways through usury, privilege, advantage, and gain for my own self-gratification, not for the corporate cause of the community or the family or the group. And I ain't talking about investors. I'm talking about church just shining unconditionally by the love that you show one for another. Without that, without money being distributed, we would have made the papers by now, but we miss it. It's going to be a lot of lost folks, especially in the hoods. Let me speak for the African-American hoods. Without the genuine love of God being displayed, on display, do you hear me? They don't care about how much you know. And if you're not serious about winning them, you're lost. Your affections are somewhere else. Something's wrong. In the middle of plague, in the middle of great people, mass people going, oh, I thought the Christians believed they were going to hell. We don't take that serious, do we? Because we're pretty comfortable. Lukewarm even. And there is no condemnation from me at all, man. I understand siege. And I understand contrast. I understand negatives and positives. Two negatives to make a positive. I understand pulling darkness out of the light. I understand a violent faith snatching those that are in darkness than those that are lost. If Jesus will snatch up you in a rapture to save you out of plague, do you believe that if more plagues worse than this comes, that these lost people, being our relatives,